between lives, hey. So I'm going to do some buttermilk scones because I've got some leftover buttermilk I used in just a little bit. I used a little bit in something the other day, and now that's just been sitting there. So my favourite thing is to be able to just use up leftovers like that would generally just go off in the fridge. I wanted to make some bread, but everybody said scones, so I'm making scones. Buttermilk scones. Start cooking. Preheat oven to 220, which I have done. Got one little helper today, my placid one. So line a baking tray with baking paper and set aside. I'm actually not going to bother lining it. I've just got my rose gold baking tray. I'm just going to pop a little bit of flour on there, but I'm not going to line it. So these baking trays are on the Mix Shop. I love them. They're actually really pretty and really great quality. 440 of self-raising flour. What are we up to on this beautiful sunshiny day? I was a little bit actually hesitant to make scones in the Thermomix. I haven't done it before. Normally it's something I'll just do by hand. I've got a really good lemonade scone recipe from a lovely lady I used to work for, which was always amazing. So we will see how they stack up compared to that. I think he's going to want to jump out of his high chair in a second, but we'll see how he goes. Flour, 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. I didn't even get my tablespoon out, but the little hack is this in your lid. This little bit here is a tablespoon. So we will go with that. 1, 2. So just the shallow bit, not the bigger bit, but just that little shallow bit there is a tablespoon. Pinch of salt. 60 grams of butter. So I'd love to know if you have a scone recipe that you use and swear by it, or do you have grandma's recipe, or do you use the Thermomix recipe? I think everyone's got their tried and tested recipe that they stick by, so it'd be interesting to see what that is. Oh, you're throwing stuff now. Popping the lid on. Five seconds, speed 8. What you talking about? So that's just blitz that up a little bit. You know how it's just coming together. But not too much yet. Now for the buttermilk, I hope I've got enough here, 320. So I know a thing which I would love to hear your opinion on this. It's a little bit controversial. A lot of people say that when you're making your own butter in your Thermomix and you're separating the butter and then the buttermilk, a lot of people say that that is then buttermilk. But real buttermilk, to me, oh, that's a little bit too much. Real buttermilk to me is fermented. The buttermilk that you get here, like buy it from the shop, is fermented. So if there's any little Thermomix gurus watching, I would love to know, do you think that when you're making your own butter out of cream, that the liquid is buttermilk, or is it just like a watery, milky substance? I don't think that it is buttermilk. I think you have to buy buttermilk and have it fermented to have proper buttermilk. So, yes, let me know what your thoughts are on that controversial topic. I'm just going to add a little bit more flour in because I got distracted and put too much buttermilk in. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Hi Sabrina. Hopefully that doesn't stuff everything up. Next. And we're going to mix that together. 20 seconds, speed 5. If that's too wet, that's completely my fault for adding too much buttermilk, but we'll see if I get it. I can hear that starting to, yeah, that's good. What are you doing? You say hi? Say hi? Oh, are you grumpy? Dear me. Right, so that's just combine that slightly. You know you don't want to ever overmix scones, so that's not too overmixed in my opinion. It says keep the measuring cup in, and now it's going to knead it lightly for you. 20 seconds, dough mode. Just announcement, my family is kneading for me and I have a baby in my hands. It's not something that I could do manually, so always got to love that. Alright. So that was just a little knead, drying my surface so I can pop it down. So all of the directions come up on the screen as you know. It says transfer dough onto a silicone bread mat or floured work surface and press out to 2 centimetres. So I'm just going to flour my work surface and attempt to do this with Storm. Alright, put this over here. I know you're a little bit grumpy, aren't you? Alright. You're going to be the star of the show. Okay, just hold on. Alright, what's this? What's this? Oh, so it's come up with a little video too, which I'll just show you. A lot of the recipes have inbuilt videos. So it's come up with a little video here, and it's showing you how to... I know you are grumpy. It's showing you how to cut your dough mixture. So that's a bit cool. So I'm just wiggling my blades a little bit. I find it brings your dough out a little bit easier than trying to scrape it out with a spatula. How cool is that video? So there's lots of these inbuilt in your recipes. There's one when you're making bread buns, like how to roll your bread buns, and there's how to insert the whisk on one of them. I think there might even be a dumpling one, how to fold your dumplings. They're really cool and they're adding them all the time as well, which is awesome. Alright, bring you back up. So, now I'm going to attempt to do this with a baby. Press my scones out and don't worry, I'm only feeding us. Won't be feeding anyone else with the baby on the bench. Hi, bub. What's this? Do you want this? So you just want to push it out. Don't roll it out with a rolling pin. I always find it's best just to kind of push it out like this to about 2 centimetres. Trying not to work it too much. Otherwise it might get a little bit dense. And then just as the video shows you, got my cutter and cutting them out. They're just like that size. And then I'll pop them all down on my tray so that they're touching each other, because I find they just rise a bit better if they are all slightly touching. So I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm not going to go through it all with you. I'll just show you what I mean by that, and then I'll let you go. So just want them all on your tray like that, slightly touching each other so that they rise nicely, and it's as simple as that. It tells me place scones onto a prepared tray. Yep, tells me to do the touching and bake for 12 to 15 minutes until golden. So I'm going to finish that with my child that is a bit grumpy, and I will post a photo on my stories of the finished product. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you want to see next, and hopefully I can do a few more lives again. Thanks.